Hello, and welcome back to Crazy Cool Gaming. Today is a very special day because, as you may have heard, my last video got extremely popular, and I'd like to make a second video. Also, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. It's been an absolute joy. If you haven't heard the rules in the last video I made, I'll briefly explain it. So, if you haven't heard, any boosters on any tracks is still considered a real track because I'd be eliminating way too many tracks since all of them include boosters. With that, I'll get right into the video. For the first race, we have Daisy Circuit, and I don't see anything that this couldn't prove that we could do this in real life. I mean, there's a track, there's buildings all around. I don't see how this couldn't be real life. Next, we had Koopa Cave, or whatever it's called. And I am not hopeful about this one. At the start, you saw a waterfall, and you're supposed to go down that waterfall, which I don't think you can do in real life without severely injuring yourself. Not only this, but you're going through a tunnel with electrical currents, which, if you mix electricity with water, you're not going to have a fun time. Next, we have Maple Treeway, which I have my doubts for. Right after the start, you're going through this cannon thing, which you cannot do in real life. And then you're going into a super-sized tree, which there's no trees that big in real life. And just no, you cannot drive on this in real life. Next, we have Grumble Volcano, which I'm already deciding is no. First of all, you have lava all around you, which it should be way too hot for anything to step into. And then you're literally going through pathways that are shaking, which you could easily fall off of, and yeah, just no, you're not going to drive on this track in real life. And that is my result for the Star Cup. We have the Leaf Cup, the Lightning Cup, and the Special Cup to go. The next track we have was this desert level. I also forget the name, but I don't see anything too off about this track. And it even has a lake, so I'd say you could definitely drive on this in real life. The next track we have is GBA Bowser Castle 3. And this one's an automatic no, for the same reason as Grumble Volcano. There's a bunch of lava around, and it seems to be that we're inside a castle? So, yeah, that's not possible. The next race we had was N64 DK's Jungle Parkway, I think. And I actually have high hopes for this one because there's nothing too interesting about this track. It's just a bunch of dirt trails, and that's about it. However, there is this jump near the beginning of the lap, which I'm a little untrustworthy about. But if you think about it, jumps like this are done basically all the time. But besides, it's a booster. And next we had Mario Circuit, which there's literally nothing off about this track, really. It's just pavement and then some dirt later in the track. And these are all of my results for the Leaf Cup. The next race we had was just a desert, and really there's nothing big or off about this track, so I could say definitely you could drive this in real life. The next track we had was Moonview Highway, which again, there's nothing much about this track except for the fact that there's cars and that it's a highway. The next track that we had, which was Bowser's Castle, the Wii version, I'd say definitely you cannot drive this for a couple of reasons. Firstly is the fact that there's lava, like, everywhere. Secondly, there's this place in the level where there's literally a giant Bowser throwing huge fireballs, which is already, like, red flagged. And then there's floating fireballs, which is just no. And there's so many more reasons about this track that you can't drive on in real life, but I'm not going to explain them all. The last track of the Special Cup, Rainbow Road, has so many reasons why you can't drive it on real life. First of all, there's this big slope that you go down, which you somehow are able to stick to. I have no idea how or why. Then you have this strip of wavy road, which is just defying physics. Then you have the star launcher thing, which which I just don't even know how that works. And then you have this giant, I don't know what to call that thing, but then you have that. And yeah, you cannot drive on this track in real life. And these are my results for the Special Cup. The first track we had in the Lightning Cup, I think is completely doable. All it is a track with some pipes and some boundaries, and that's it. The next track we had was Peach Circuit, and I say it's completely doable. Nothing's too off about this track, and all it is really just a garden. The next track I do not think is doable, and you'll see in a second here, because there's a literal cannon, which we've already discussed in a bunch of previous tracks, that it just doesn't work in real life. The next track we had, which was N64 Bowser Castle. And I'd say it's definitely not doable because there's lava all around you and there's things spurting fire just like you just saw. And there's giant swamps, which just don't exist. To sum things up, I would say we definitely had a lot more variation than expected, and I honestly thought it was a lot more fun to make. But yeah, speaking of making the video, this took an extremely long amount of time to make, so if you wouldn't mind leaving a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, that would be much appreciated. Thank you, and let me know if I should come out with more series like this soon.